Hello guys, welcome to onlyvmware.com. This is the fourth video. In this video we will install and configure the ESXi virtual machine. We are going to install two ESXi VMs. Okay, so in this video we will go through the prerequisites and the requirements for the ESXi installations. We will go through all the available options while installing the ESXi. What are the installation methods for the ESXi, and setting up the DNS, IP addressing, administrative passwords, and go through all available options. So let's proceed. Just open the workstation, and we should power on the ADDC VM in the first place. Okay, now let's proceed creation of the ESXi VM. Select the custom advanced method to go through all the advanced available options. Okay, next workstation version. Next I'll install the operating system later. Select VMware ESXi. Okay, the latest version it takes, that is ESXi 5. Then the name of the ESXi, we can give ESXi 1. Next, the location is same. Number of processes are 2. Number of core processes is 1. So better we keep the 2 and 2 for the good performance. The RAM is 4 GB, that is enough. Do not use the network connection right now, we will add it later. LSI logic, SCSI controllers, SCSI recommended, new virtual disk, 40 GB hard disk, store virtual disk as a single file, the name of the VMDK file, finish, go to the edit virtual machine settings, and without adding the network card we won't be able to complete the installation. So prior starting the installation we should add the network card. We don't need this USB controller, just remove all the unnecessary hardwares. Add, yes, network card, custom, VMnet 2, connect at power on, finish. So when we select VMware ESXi at the time of the installation, so it is automatically enables the virtualization for the virtual machine. See, virtualize Intel VTX and AMD V for this VM. So okay, I'll show you the previous VM we created. For that, if you will just check the settings for the processor, that option is not enabled. So that means whenever we start the installation of the ESXi, Workstation automatically enables the virtualization for the processor. Okay, so let's edit and go to CD-ROM, give the ISO, E drive, VMware installers, and the ISO where it is, VMvisor installation, that's it. Open. Okay, so now just power on the VM. See, it is asking us the methods, so we'll go through the first option. Now in the meanwhile I would like to explain you the minimum hardware requirement for the installation. So first of all, ESXi 5.5 will install and run only on the servers with the 64-bit x86 CPUs. So ESXi 5.5 requires the host machine with at least 2 cores. Okay, so we have selected 2 virtual cores and the 2 physical cores, so we don't have any issue with that. The ESXi 5.5 supports 4 GB of minimum RAM. So minimum RAM requirement is 4 GB. For the better performance, it is recommended to have 8 GB of RAM to get full advantage of all the ESXi features and run virtual machines in typical production environment. Okay, and enable virtualization from the BIOS. So that's it. These are the requirements for the ESXi installation. Now what are the methods for the installations? So the type of installation we have choose right now is the interactive installation. Whenever we select the CD-ROM as a bootable disk or the USB device as a bootable disk, then the installation is the interactive installation method. The other method is scripted ESXi installation method. For that you need to create the kickstart installation file, kickstart script file. The installation script must be stored in a location that the host can access. Say you can just store the kickstart file on HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, NFS, CD-ROM or the USB device. Then you can just PXE boot the ESXi installer or boot it from the CD or the USB drive. So this is the second method, that is scripted ESXi installation. The third method is the auto deploy ESXi installation. So VMware provides the auto deploy installation tool. Okay, just use that tool in the command prompt and just set up the installers. The other option is customizing installation method using the ESXi image builder. So this is the PowerShell option. Actually you can use the ESXi image builder CLI to create the ESXi installation image. With the customized set of updates or the patches or the drivers, ESXi image builder CLI is the PowerShell CLI command set. So using this command prompt you can do the installation that includes the updates and the patching. So these are the four methods. First one is the interactive, other one is the scripted, third one is the auto deploy, and fourth one is the ESXi image builder CLI. And what are the minimum hardware requirement? We should have 4 GB of minimum RAM. We should enable the Intel virtualization or AMD virtualization prior starting the installation. So ESXi only runs on 64-bit CPUs. Okay, and 2 cores of CPUs we will require prior starting the installation. So that's it. These are the minimum requirements for the installation. Now let's proceed with the installation. Enter. It is asking for the F11. Very simple installation method, so you don't have to worry about that. All the options it will ask us to do. Now see, it is asking us to just enter to continue. So enter, give a language, enter, give the root password. We can change this root password afterwards. You can give any simple password for the lab. And press F11 to start the install. So to save the time, we can start the installation of another ESX server at the same time. Just go to File, New Virtual Machine, Custom Installation, Workstation 10, Install Letter, select VMware ESXi, name of the ESXi will be ESXi 2, next, select 2, next, 4096, add the network letter, SCSI controller LSI, virtual disk type SCSI, select the new virtual disk, space will be 40 GB, store VM disk in a single file, ESXi2.vmdk, finish, go to ESXi2, edit virtual machine settings, remove USB controller, add network adapter, custom, VMnet2, finish, go to processor, check that the option is enabled. Yeah, it is automatically enabled. Now go to CD-ROM, browse and select the installer. Go to VMware 5.5 and that's it. So okay, now power on this VM, press enter. So we can keep an eye on both the installation at the same time. So this way we can save a lot of time. When you want to start the lab installation and you know what you are doing, then the total installation of the complete lab should not take say more than 4 to 5 hours. Okay, because the installation itself takes that much of time. Say ESXi installation takes, Windows installations take, the creating the template it takes, and again installing the database server, installing the vCenter server, or installing the appliance, then setting up the storage, and then setting up the cluster. So over and all it should not take more than 4 to 5 hours if you have the steps available with you and the sequence of the virtual machines with you. So this is not at all a big deal, but the only thing is you should know what you are doing. So now I think after watching these videos you will at least get an idea of the sequence and the procedures, and then you can start the installation very easily. So just complete the configuration of the ESXi 2 and start the installation. Check the ESXi 1 where it is now. Okay, it is done now. Just reboot. Press enter and it will reboot the server. Enter, enter, type the root password, enter. So ESXi 1 installation is completed and it is booting the server now. ESXi 2, press F11. So now the ESXi 1 installation is completed and we can do the basic configuration. As you can see that no IP address has been allocated because we have disabled the DHCP options. Press F2 to customize the setup. Now it is asking us the root password. Type the root password, enter. Now if you wish to change the password, you can do it from here. Okay, configure password. Now we have the password set, so now just configure the management network. Press enter, go to network adapters. It is showing that you have one NIC card attached to it. Okay, now if you will just add the network cards, that I am going to do. Once both the installations are completed, I'll add another network cards and will enable those from here. Okay, as we want to do the network load balancing inside the VMware cluster. Now I'll just set up the IP configurations. The first IP we had assigned was .0.1 for the ADDC, and so this is 2. Subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0 and the gateway will be 172.16.0.1. okay, enter. DNS configurations. What is the primary DNS server? The same one, 172.16.0.1. Hostname, what will be the hostname? ESXi 2 dot only VMware dot local. Sorry, this one is the ESXi 1. So okay, done. That's it. So just press escape and then it will ask us to restart the management network. So press Y to restart the management network. So that's it, the IP has been assigned. So we can test the management network. Press OK. It will try pinging to 172.16.0.1. So resolving hostname failed because we have not yet added the DNS entries for that. So we will go to the Active Directory and DNS server and we'll add the DNS entries for that. So okay, now that's it for now. There are troubleshooting options. If you wish to enable the SSH ESXi shell, you can enable that. Okay, restart the management agent. So that's it. Press escape and we can view the system logs. There are the options of the system logs. So support information, you might need to send this information to the VMware support if required, and reset the system configuration to the default. So for now that's it. Press escape and leave it in this way. Go to ESXi 2 and the installation is completed. Press enter to reboot. Now the reboot will take a few minutes and it will boot all those services after installation. So meanwhile we'll go to the ADDC server and we'll add the DNS zone for the ESXi servers. Go to DNS. Okay, go to forward lookup zone. Go to only VMware. Right click here. Go to the new host and type the ESXi 1. That's it. And the IP address 172.16.0.2 and click this option, so it will automatically add the reverse lookup zone. Add host successfully created. Now other host is ESXi 2. For this the IP will be 172.16.0.3. Create the pointer record. Add host. OK. Done. So both are here, and let's check if the reverse lookup zone is added. Yes, it is added. ESXi 1, ESXi 2, and the IP addressing. So once this is done, we will confirm if the resolution of the DNS is completed. Let's just try pinging the ESXi 1 because it is already booting. Ping ESXi 1. Okay, done. It is already pinging because the installation is completed and the services are up and running. Now for ESXi 2, let's check if the installation is done. Yeah, it is done. Press F2 and do the same configuration here. Password, enter. Okay, configure password, we don't need. Configure management network, check the network card. Yes, it is there. IP configuration, static IP. Okay, 172.16.0. Sorry, 172.16.0.3, 255.255.255.0, 172.16.0.1. Press enter. Go to the DNS configuration 172.16.0.1. Add the host name, that is ESXi 2.only VMware .local. Press enter. Press escape. It will restart the management network. Press Y. So that's it. Now just test the management network. Press enter. Press enter again. It will try pinging to 172.16.0.1. Now the resolving host name is OK because we added the DNS zone entries. Press OK. Now just go to the AD server again and confirm if we can now ping to ESXi 2. So all OK. Done. Now both the ESXi servers are ready and the Active Directory servers are also ready. So that's it for now. See you in the next video.